So this foundation is obviously the Maybelline Superstay Active Wear 30-hour foundation. Now my shade is soft bronze, which is number 34. This is just apparently the new version, the new and improved version of the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation, which I absolutely love. I'm going to be reviewing this today, doing a wear test and seeing if it actually compares. So with this Maybelline one, I normally have to use a dewy primer, so my go-to is normally to use the NYX Honey Dew Me Up primer underneath this. But I noticed yesterday, because I'd done a video on this yesterday, the video was called What's New in the Drugstore, so I'll leave that in the description bar down below, go and check it out. Now, if you did watch that video, you'll know that I actually didn't use a primer with it, and it didn't last very well in certain areas of the face. So I'm actually just going to be treating this foundation today the way I would this foundation. But one thing I did notice is that this foundation didn't give me as many fine lines and sit in as many like wrinkles or create as many wrinkles on the skin as this one does when you pair it with the wrong primer. So I do think that already this is an improved version, but we'll see today. So yeah, I'm just going to be going in firstly with this primer, which smells so nice. It smells like lemon for some reason. Even though it's called Honey Dew Me Up, it smells like lemon. And the little spatula just makes it so easy to apply. So I'm just going to be working this primer into the skin with clean fingers, of course. So I'm just going to let this sink into the skin for about another 1 moment or so. So now I'm just going to be taking 3 pumps of this and putting it onto my little plastic palette. And then if you watch my other video on this foundation, you'll see that I actually used a brush that I wanted to try out, a brand new Real Techniques brush. So I didn't actually go over with a damp beauty sponge, and I did notice a difference in the application of the foundation. So I'm going to be doing my technique today, which is brush first and then obviously a beauty sponge. So I'm just going to be dabbing this onto the skin. And the coverage on the original foundation of this is just like literally second to none. It's absolutely amazing. Probably obviously one of the best things about this foundation is the coverage. So I'm going to be buffing this into the skin today with the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and today I feel like I do clearly need it because of blemishes like this and here, so that's the reason why I'm going in with a full coverage foundation. So straight away we can see that that's gone on really flawless, and here I do feel like it's done a really good job of like taking away the redness out of these blemishes and this blemish on the chin. So straight away it definitely seems just as good as the original foundation. So this is how the skin's looking after I've used 3 pumps of this new foundation. So far I think the coverage is gorgeous, and my pores are actually looking quite diffused and refined. So yeah, I'm quite impressed so far. So now that I've used the 3 pumps, I'm going to go off camera, do the rest of the makeup, check back in once the rest of the makeup's done, and then obviously I'm going to be leaving this foundation on the skin for a full 8 or 9 hours. But obviously when I check back in, I'll let you know how long it's actually been on the skin and what I've actually been doing during the day, which won't be much. It'll just be like going shopping. But the weather is quite rainy today and very cold, so we'll see how the skin's looking in a few hours now that I've actually used a primer with this foundation. So yes, I will see you in a minute. So I'm just checking back in as I said I would. So obviously, as you can see, I've done a full face of makeup now, and this is how the skin is looking after using the Maybelline 30-hour foundation. So I'm just dimming the light so you can get a bit of a closer and better look. Now, I think the skin looks so flawless. I am really like obsessing with it. It's so matte, and my pores again are just looking like literally so minimised, and that is even without using a pore minimising primer. Obviously, you know that I use the NYX Honey Dew Me Up primer, which is just obviously a dewy primer. It doesn't claim to fill pores, which normally I always look for in a primer, but even without a primer that fills pores, my skin is looking almost poreless. So I'm very happy so far with how the makeup's looking, and it is very full coverage, as you see in all here. Even though you can still see the spots under the skin, you can see that it's raised, you can't actually see redness. And also here on the chin, you're seeing that massive blemish that I had, and that's completely covered as well. So far this foundation is really good, and up to now I definitely recommend it 100%. But I do just need to add in that Maybelline do test on animals, which I am so disappointed about, and I do hope that it changes. I do hope that like all cosmetics companies eventually just become cruelty free. I feel like it should be a law. Like, a lot of companies are cruelty free, so I just want Maybelline to follow suit. But up to now, that is my only fault with this brand and with this foundation. But yeah, let's see how I feel in a good few hours. So I'm going to go about my day like I explained, and then I'm going to check back in like 2 seconds, but really it's going to be in about 8 hours, which I'm expecting it to look still as flawless as it looks now, because this foundation claims 30 hours, so let's see. Hey guys, so I'm just checking back in as I said that I would do. So I've had the foundation now for 11.5 hours, and this is how it's looking. Now, I know it's not ideal that it's not under my ring light, but I'm not at home at the minute, so this is how it's looking. It's still in a good light, it's still in the living room light, but yeah, as you can see, it is coming away on the forehead. It's definitely separating and wearing off around the edges, and it's definitely got a little bit of patchiness. This looks like a dirt mark, but it's not. This was here literally hours ago when I applied the foundation, and same here, so it is going a little bit patchy, especially around the eyebrows, around the forehead. But generally, I do think it's a good foundation and has lasted quite well, so I would therefore recommend it. But this whole 30 hours claim, I don't think that's true at all, because clearly this is what the skin looks like after 11.5 hours. Now, I haven't really done much today. I've literally been in the house filming, I went shopping, only for food shopping, obviously there's nothing else open at the minute. But yeah, I'm not like blown away by the foundation, but it is good. But one point to add in is that my skin is normal / combination, so it's even separated on my skin, like here, just in the middle of the forehead and around the perimeter of the face. So I can't imagine what this would look like on someone who has oily skin. So I still would recommend it, and I do still think it's good value for the price. But yeah, just something to think about. But anyway, thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I'm going to go to bed now because I'm so tired. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, hanging out with me till the end. And before we go to bed, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss any of my weekly uploads. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video.